Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am frankly FM84 and this is the Season 5 review for An Englishman Abroad, where we are currently out in Indonesia managing Sulut United. So, in this episode we are going to look back at the season that was before moving on and showing you a preview for Season 6, the signings that we make. But first, if you haven't subscribed and hit the like button, please don't forget to do that already. Leave any comments down in the box below. But if all that good stuff is done, we are going to push on forwards into this season review and show you how we have gotten on. So, as always, we start off with the new arrivals tab, and when we look, you can see that our signing of the season was Keiki. We bought him from Nova Iguaçu, I think that says. He is a 25-year-old Brazilian who has slotted seamlessly into our midfield. He's made 42 appearances with 4 goals, 22 assists, and an average rating of 7.20, which has been phenomenal. He was instrumental in everything that we did across the season and played a massive part in us winning the league. And you can see that the board are very happy with the deal to sign him. They're also pleased that we have a minimum fee release clause of 85,000, which they think is a good amount of money if it's ever triggered, which I hope it isn't, because he's integral to the plans of the club. Moving on down the list, you can see that we signed Prosetto from Semen Padang. He played 34 games, had 9 goals with 13 assists, and a 7.20 rating. Let's sort them by appearances, and you can see who else has been instrumental. So you've got Adichie. He came in, he's a fullback. He played 34 times with 1 goal, 2 assists, and a 6.72 rating. Diancia, he came in, played 29 games with 3 goals, no assists, and 6.90 rating. Herman Firdaus, he came in for 70k from Persija, played 10 games from the start, scored 2 goals, had 4 assists, and a 6.75 rating. So we're going to move on to the season's results. And you can see that in terms of the Shopee Liga 1, we won the league with an impressive 5-point gap to Persipura. The board gave us an A+, and they were delighted that the team had won the league. The competition top scorer was Rafli Mersalim, who scored 28 goals for us. The board only wanted us to qualify for the AFC Cup, so we surpassed that by winning the league. And you can see that in terms of our overall record, we won 25, drew 7, lost 2, with a goal difference of 57, and scored an impressive 82 points. In terms of the AFC Champions League, we were only expected to qualify for the AFC Cup, so we finished first in the part that we have qualified for, which is impressing the board with an A+ for that too. And then in terms of actually qualifying for next season, we have achieved that by winning our league. In terms of last season's, we didn't do brilliantly. We won 2 games, one against Western United 2-1, beat Nahoy 5-4, both in home games. We're a bit poor on the road. Moving on to the Super Indonesia, which I believe is the Super Cup, and we won that. The board said it wasn't important and gave us a C+, but as you can see, at neutral venue, we won that game 2-0. Then the last thing to look at is the Krating Dayang Piala Indonesia, where the board wanted us to be competitive. We ended up finishing runner-up in that 2-legged final, where we actually blew a 2-1 lead from the first leg in the away leg and lost 2-0 and ended up losing in the final. So in terms of moments to remember across the season, we had our biggest win of a 6-0 win against PSIS with goals from Maya, Wadi, Prosetto and Mersalim. Our match to remember was a 6-1 win against Persiraja, where Wadi, Wijanto, Mersalim, Maya and Prosetto got the goals, Ridwan scoring for Persijara. And then the goal of the season goes to Prosetto. It says running from inside the Bayangkara FC half, the right midfielder skins an opponent before scoring a close, powerful range shot. Let's click on the game and have a little look at the goal. I think we can just, In fact, I don't know which of the 2 goals it is, so let's have a look at the first one. So it probably is going to be that one where he's run inside the box, skinned the defender, and smashed it into the roof of the net. Oh yeah, the 10-minute goal, that was the one. So looking at the club's finances, you can see in terms of the club reputation, we have stayed as a 1.5-star national team. We have no new sponsorship deals and no new notable sponsorship deals to come. In terms of the revenue for the club, we had 291,000 in sponsorship, which is up from last season. We had more broadcast revenue, more corporate and hospitality, and we won more competition prize money than last season, even though our match day, commercial and retail fell slightly. In terms of the total merchandise sales, we had £1,940 worth of sales, and the non-domestic sales amounted to £194 of that total. And we sold 96 shirts, which were Prosecco being the most popular, Maya, Mursalim, Wadi, and Saputra being the most popular shirt sales. In terms of how we lined up, this seems to be working this time. So we got Francisco in goal, Ariza, Douglas, Saputra, Bakhtiar, Matthias Firmino, Wadi Wijanto, Siswanto, Maya and Mursalim are in our best 11 across the season. When we look at the accolades, so for ourselves, we won Liga 1 Best Coach of the Month for April and May. Didn't actually win the Manager of the Year award, which is a little bit crazy. In terms of the club players, we've got Ahmed Meyer was Fans Player of the Season. He was also Young Player of the Season. Keiki took Signing of the Season. Prosecco won Goal of the Season. Mursalim was top goal scorer with 36 goals. Keiki was top assister with 22. Mursalim got most man of the matches with 6. Maya had the best average rating with 7.3. Keiki had most completed passes per 90 minutes with 46. In terms of the record breakers, you had Mursalim scoring 36 goals to break most overall goals by a player in a season. You also have most league goals by a player for 28. Maya had most goals in a game with 4. He also had most goals in a league match with 4. Keiki broke the assist record with 22. Dancia was the naughty boy who broke the discipline record with 15 yellows and 1 red card. Mursalim had most league goals by a player with 43. I believe that's in terms of club records. And then Dancia was the youngest ever goal scorer for the club at 18 years and 18 days. So moving on to history in the making, you can see that we won both of the league and the Super Cup, and it was a superb season for Sulut United as they claim their second successive title to back up their pre-season credentials. So everything ticked off for the season review. What we're going to do next is push on forwards to the start of the next season, buy a few players, lose a few players, see what happens in terms of the squad, and I will probably be back just before the Champions League kicks off, or maybe even the league kicks off, depending on how the calendar works this season. But we will be right back with that. Okay, so we have jumped forwards to the 18th of February 2026, and as you can see on the transfer page, we haven't done too much business. We have just signed a few youth players who are going to look to slide into the squad, and we also had some players leave us on free transfers. So a quick overview of who we've got. We've got Dedi Mwanto. He is a midfielder left who is looking to give us a little bit of width out on that left hand side. Very versatile looking player on the left. He plays as an inverted winger, and as you can see, for a 20-year-old, he has some decent stats that will probably help us along the way. We have Dadang Riyadi. He's an 18-year-old right-sided and central midfielder. The scouts seemed quite keen on him, and for an 18-year-old, thought he could be one for the future. And then we've got Mohamed Sugiato. He is a 21-year-old who could play as a centre-back, a defensive midfielder, or central midfielder. Another one with quite promising stats in quite a few of the areas that our scouts were very keen on. So combined total for all the players in was 62,000. And in terms of players out, we lost Zainal Rotmabin. He ended up going to Persiba on a free transfer. Rio Gunawan, he became upset after he didn't make the Champions League squad, so he has left on a free transfer to Borneo. We've got Al Jufri Daud, he has left to go to PSIS. And the last one, we actually lost Herman Ferdaus, who was a promising striker for us last season, came through and was giving some good competition to Myron Mercelin, but we decided to take the offer from PSS of £250,000 and move him on. So in terms of club finances, it leaves us with a bank balance of £1 million overall, with a transfer budget of 408,000. I think the squad is probably strong enough to have a good go in the Champions League this time around. So not going to make any more signings. So that is it. We are up to date. We are looking at the schedule. Our Champions League group consists of, once again, Hanoi FC, Beijing, and Ulsan. So trips to China, Vietnam, and Korea in terms of the Champions League. So we're going to leave it there for this episode. Please, again, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button to continue helping to support the channel. A big thanks to everybody who does that. For this episode, it's going to be a wrap. We're going to push forwards in the next episode and play those Champions, or the first, certainly the first of the Champions League games. But for this one, thank you very much for watching.